Great question here about the video I did on coffee, but the video more specifically than coffee was just habits. And I want to reiterate. She says, you know what? I said she, I don't know one way or the other. Is coffee by itself fine? But if not careful, a potential co-addiction. I mean, I wonder why in coffee shops it's always paired with donuts and pastries and Danishes. It's a great point. It's a great point made here by this writer. And that is making my point for me in that video where coffee by itself doesn't break your carnivore diet. Have at it. Drink all the coffee you want. But it's more about what goes with the coffee. Too often, really all of the time, the coffee goes with something else. And so when you want it to not eat the Danishes, to use a simple example, you're going to probably, and you're used to drinking the coffee and the Danish together, they both got to go if you want to get rid of them. It's just going to make it easier on you to retrain your brain and then come back around if you want to add the coffee back in at a later date. But more specifically to the point that I was making is if you are a coffee drinker and you eat a bunch of junk food and you're 150 pounds overweight, it's okay to back off of all of those other things. Get rid of the sugars first. Just start there in the processed food. Just start there and give it a month or two. But those 6, 8, 10 cups of coffee that you're drinking every day, start to back off of that just as soon as you can. Get over the one addiction before you beat the other addiction. Too many times, and this happens all of the time, the other addiction will pull you back to those ones that you tried to give up. Just like if you have an alcohol addiction, the best thing to do is steer clear of a bar until you've beaten that alcohol addiction. I know lots of people can go back into a bar after beating that addiction and don't have any want for it at all. But while they're beating that addiction, you got to steer clear. And that's my point. So you have to decide for yourself. Coffee by itself can be drank. It doesn't need to be drinking. You don't need to drink it for energy, as I hear all the time. You don't have energy because of the garbage that you eat, you're fat. Fix those two problems. You'll have more energy than you know what to do with. Now, do you choose to drink coffee because you like it or not? Believe it or not, many people who go through the process and come out on the other side successfully no longer have a need or a want to drink coffee anymore. But you decide for yourself. Great question. Opportunities are everywhere. You got to go get them. Go for a walk.